Araj o Blodra, trader in blood and the sanguineous arts. It is a pleasure to stand before a true soul, and your pale companion. I'd like to offer my services, if you're willing. Put plainly, I'd like your blood. A vial of true soul's blood, specifically. With one drop, I can brew a rather potent potion for you. The rest, I keep for myself. No idea, but it will be unique to you. Your blood essence and the Absolute's blessing intertwined. We can learn exactly what that means together, hmm? Research, naturally. A little experimentation, perhaps. I have an innate curiosity for all things sanguine. Just a little prick and it's all over. Close your eyes. There we are. All of your very best traits in a bottle. Use it well. Although perhaps there's one more thing we could discuss. Your friend. He's a vampire, no? Or one of their spawn, at least.
Oh, don't worry. We're all friends under the Absolute. I won't bite.
Oh, I'd prefer if you did. I assume he belongs to you? I'm sure he really believes that. How utterly adorable. Do you have a name, Spawn?
Astarion, but hold on.
Good. Now, Astarion. I've dreamt of being bitten by a vampire since I was a young girl.
I'm sorry, you want to be bitten?
To feel your life's blood slipping away. To dance on the edge between life and death. Yes, I want it. I'll even compensate you. A potion of legendary power that forever increases the strength of the one who consumes it. It's not for sale, but it's yours if you bite me.
I will have to decline.
Excuse me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you're squandering it.
I gave you my answer.
Can't you talk some sense into your obstinate charge? How very disappointing.
I will not be slandered! General, you saw my reports. You know it's not my fault.
The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so.
If I had been given drow warriors instead of goblin trash!
Oi! What?
You scrag!
Enough!
A blast of mental energy washes over you, filling the room. Your tadpole squirms, urging you to obey.
Let me make sure I understand this. You're claiming that General Thorm gave you the wrong soldiers.
Yes. No!
You blame the Absolute's Chosen for your failure.
Of course it is not the General's fault.
Whose then?
Zarel's mind is a steel trap, but you cautiously ease your way in. You just need to shift her focus a little.
I'm being unkind. Anyone might have struggled with such imperfect tools. Goblins are prone to failure.
Yes, it's the goblins' fault. They failed you, General, not me.
General?
Take Minthara below. Someone will have to consider her fate.
No! Please! Mercy! Please!
Bye-bye, Princess.
And the goblins, General.
You, true soul. You have seen what these creatures are capable of, and you have seen their inadequacies, isn't that so? What is your judgment?
You know I'm loyal! Tell him!
Enough! True soul, tell the General how the goblins served our cause.
Lies! I served the Absolute! I did everything I was told!
And there you have it. We're too close to the ending, and the new beginning. I can coddle failure no longer. Kill them, quickly.
What? No!
You creaking old bag of shit!
I'm so sorry, my lord. She's an unbeliever outside my control.
Try again.
No! No!
Dispose of the rest as you see fit. Or better yet, let us take advantage of our surprising guest and their particular creative genius. I'm sure the results will send a clear message to the troops on the importance of discipline.
Of course, my lord. Thank you. You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Report to me upstairs when you're done.
Please! You gotta help me! For old time's sake! Please! Help me!
I do enjoy a bit of casual bloodshed. Now come. I'd like to know more about this Sorrel.
In another lifetime, you were greeted in this throne room like a god, not the living wreck you are now. Your disgrace has something to do with this Ketheric. You yearn to flay him until he forgets himself, as you have. Nothing sickens you more than a man who is unkillable. But to a veteran deviant such as yourself, it is but a matter of time.
The seat of the Absolute's power, occupied by a general that cannot be killed. But his followers are flesh and blood. We must learn more about his power.
General Thorm's prayers and preparations must not be disturbed. The rooftop is off-limits to everyone.
Even you, Disciples Realm?
Everyone. Keep watch and ensure that nobody passes. Excellent timing, true soul. The goblins. Tell me how they suffered. No, better yet, show me.
Her mind enters yours abruptly, flickering across your memories in a blaze of excitement. A pool of warmth spreads through your mind as she settles on the memory of you commanding the goblins to die.
Oh, I like you. That was inventive and efficient. Plenty. But I hoped someone of your talents would be more ambitious. You came here to answer the Absolute's call. Let's see what you're made of.
She parts the folds of your mind again, touching your wants and hopes, tasting them. Every emotion soaks into her mind's palette. But there is purpose to her exploration. She is searching for proof of your faith.
Forget your love. I have 17 husbands scattered across the coast shores. They are mere meat. With the Absolute, your fantasies can become more real than flesh. The pleasures of the mind can surpass those of the body. I have already been blessed to stand in her presence. It was bliss. She gave me everything I wanted. Why not? What's the point in power if you don't get to have a little fun every now and again? She gave me the power to cut the thread of life with a thought. But I can caress as well as cut. That's why you should stay on my good side. And the best way to do that is to serve General Thorm. I have a mission for you.
That's it. Play along. The closer you can get to the General, the closer you'll be to the answers you seek.
There is a relic that General Thorm requires. He sent his most trusted advisor, disciple Balthazar, to retrieve it. The relic is beneath the Thorm family mausoleum. That is where you will find Balthazar. But we have lost contact with him. Go there. Aid Balthazar if you can, and bring the relic home. The shadows around the mausoleum are deep and hungry. You'll need a moon lantern to survive them. Take one from Balthazar's chambers. But don't pry. The last person who snooped into his secrets lost their head. I believe he uses it as a chamber pot.
Disc appears in your mind's eye. Lae'zel sees it too, and considers the vision.
Quite similar to the boy's slate from the creche. The tissue are enciphered, but I see the pattern. It's another story about Orpheus. I'll translate then. The Prince of the Comet, Part 3. The histories tell us that Commander Voss, Gestil Kithrak, pierced Prince Orpheus clean through with his sword of silver, that his flesh was torn and fed to the great red dragon Ephelaman. Vlaakith's faithful roar out this tale, but beneath the roars, we hear whispers carrying truth and prophecy. The Prince of the Comet is not dead. The Prince of the Comet will come again. The Prince of the Comet will liberate us from Vlaakith's tyranny. Praise be to Mother Gith, Queen of the One Sky. Praise be to your son, Orpheus, the true heir, Prince of the Comet. This is more than a fable. It's an affront to the undying Queen Vlaakith. Gith's son died to Voss's blade. Orpheus is no more. It is not just improbable, it is impossible. Kithrak Voss and his red dragon slayed the fell prince. You could no more resurrect him than you could glue together the pile of ashes he became. My Vash taught that the silver bells of Vlaakith's court still ring out before every hunt in celebration of the prince's defeat. As a child, I longed to hear them for myself, and sing in praises to the deathless queen and her Githraki. Tiamat's emissary. It was he who carried word that Mother Gith had negotiated the gift of the dragons, and that Vlaakith I would preside as Queen of the Githyanki. The Felaman remains the Queen's consort to this day, as endless as the empire he now serves. Anything more?
This Gith slate looks like the other. Another story about the Githyanki prince.
That's curious.
So, how was your night with Gale? Did you have a long, hard debate?
Oh, ignore him. Starion envies the depth of our bond because he's of a shallower inclination.
Can't keep me out.
Living without sunlight isn't so bad, Astarion.
The
Where I came
necromancer was
from,
experimenting
would
on
often work
tadpoles,
exclusively under cover of darkness.
but they were already imbued with Netherese magic. So where did that magic come from?
We can turn it against Ketheric, or destroy it. We'll need to explore thoroughly.
I doubt Ketheric leaves the means to his downfall out in the open.
Carved into the bench's rotted surface are strange, half-faded sigils. A magic circle of some kind, thick with darkness and decay.
A ritual circle. And a complex one at that. I've seen such a construction before in the writings of the Weave Pasha Raven, though his vision was not so tainted. The sigils are written in a curious mix of tongues. Ancient Kalashite, Netherese, something else I can't quite make out. If I'm reading it correctly, it was used in the creation of moon lanterns. It's been mostly drained, but even now contains a powerful dose of shadow weave. The discarded pixie corpses might still contain enough essence. With one of the broken lantern casements... Yes, I think I'll be able to craft one more lantern. And with a slight modification of the casting gesture, it might be able to wield the shadows instead of repelling them. Though, Mystra's eyes may be upon me. She'd forbid me dabbling with such magic. She'd want it destroyed. Wasted, arguably.
Forget what Mystra wants. Think about yourself, and what Lady Shah's power could do for you, Gale. Make the lantern. Spread her will.
Some room, then, if you please.
It doesn't take much. The sigils fade, the circle's tainted magic dissolving harmlessly into the ether.
Not bad for a wizard who slept through his Kalashite lessons, eh? Did you feel that? I wasn't surrounded on all sides by the darkness of the Shadow Curse lands. I'd think it was Mystra herself brushing against my skin. That's Mystra's power for you. Where there's even a trace of magic, she will be there to bring it to life. There's clearly some magic in you if you were able to sense her presence. But I think I felt something stronger. She's left some tiny part of herself to watch over me, I think. A boon to help us reach the heart of the Absolute in one piece. True enough. And somehow I doubt that's an order Mystra will be willing to rescind, no matter how many times I impress her. The stakes are simply too high. Strange, though, that she would reward me for such a service now. She's hardly been forthcoming on that front since my banishment. Perhaps I'm overthinking things. A blessing's a blessing, and this one should come in most useful.
Minthara's still locked up somewhere in there. We could save her. Or not.
I'm surprised I never saw you lurking in the shadows at any Baldurian balls, Astarion. Same as me.
Yeah. The city's elite was not my target audience, alas.
Your family.
People ask questions when members of the nobility disappear, and the last thing Cazador wanted was people asking questions.
I've been rather hasty to judge you, Astarion. One heartbreak was quite enough for me. But to experience it as many times as you have must change a person.
Thank you, Gale. But let us both hope that broken hearts are a thing of the past.
You're being arrested for assault.
You ought to be kinder, you know.
You're being arrested for a...
Creator, Destroyer.
Talk to me.
Moving. Where do I go from here?
Roland better be all right.
It's Roland. He's probably holed up somewhere, planning to burst in, spells ablaze.
Well, some rest's better than none.
If he saves us, I'll never
You're being arrested for a...
If I don't get my beauty sleep soon, I may just get a tad malcontent.
You're being arrested for a...
I've been pondering something, Lae'zel. Why is it the Githyanki have belly buttons? When they hatch from eggs?
I did not grant you permission to gaze upon my midriff.
I wasn't gazing, merely observing. Though that can hardly be said for a certain someone else.
Witnessed assaulting some...
When we met, Shadowheart, your gaze... Is now your...
Is it that obvious?
Nimble. Check for gaps, cracks, anything to leverage the rock. Nichols, tools. Get creative. This rock is basalt. It'll crack with enough pressure. Ah, don't mind us, true soul. The back wall is weak. We're working to brace it. Barkus is out here? Didn't think he had the stones. Well, if he sent you, you're no slave to the Absolute. You're a damn wolf among sheep, aren't you? I reckon you and I were meant to meet. I'm Wilburn. We've got a plan, for us and the tieflings both. But we're scuppered without the right equipment. We need tools, that head case of a warden robbed ours, but anything that breaks rock will do. Even if it's not Iron Hand quality. Whatever you find, throw it through the bars. But for the love of Gerdel, make sure a guard doesn't see you, or we're both done for. Your feet fly fast, my friend. Any luck with those tools? Blessed Gerdel, I thought I'd never see it again. Thank you. The plan is to wait for a quiet moment, then bust out the back wall. We'll grab the tieflings along the way. We'll need them if it comes to a fight. You, however, are the clincher. Once we move, keep the patrols busy. If the bastards spot us, all of bloody Moonrise will come down on us. We'll move once it's quiet. Until then, be ready.
I knew you were a graceful man, Will, but I hear you're quite the dancer, too. I've been known to trip the light fantastic myself. Mine was a popular hand at the annual Blackstaff's Ball.
I'd have loved to have witnessed it, Gale. I wager you are a...
You were adored, Minthara. Brought up from the darkness and into the Absolute's light.
She cherished you, but it wasn't enough. You were distracted by your own desires.
Bloodlust, murder, chaos.
And most damning of all, an inability to follow orders.
I obeyed to the best of my ability!
And isn't that depressing?
You are nothing.
The drow reaches out to you psychically, connecting with you for a moment. She is infected like you, and her mind is disintegrating.
Come to observe, true soul. She is a lesson. None can rise so high that they cannot fall again. We are erasing her. No, this is our duty.
Peace, sister. Let us observe the true soul's methods. Perhaps we can learn from them. Her mind is yours. Break it.
Immediately, your mind is swept into a greater vortex. A psionic storm with Minthara at its center.
Cannot hide, submit, embrace.
Her torturers are not dominating her. They are destroying her mental defenses and exposing her to something else. The Absolute. Navigating the storm, you reach the nexus of her mind. It is a wound, bleeding raw emotion and shattered memories. But she senses your arrival.
So it is you who will end me. Make it swift, then. Anything to silence that thing. That voice. But first, let's make these bastards bleed.
Her mind fills with warmth, and she gently releases you.
Impossible. She was broken.
Wizard's quite worthless with a tired mind. Sleep beckons. I knew you were a graceful man, Will, but I hear you're quite the dancer, too. I've been known to trip the light fantastic myself. Mine was a popular hand at the annual Blackstaff's Ball.
I'd have loved to have witnessed it, Gale. I wager you are as elegant on the dance floor as you are on the battlefield.
The strength to destroy my foes.
You were witnessed assaulting someone.
Let's have some fun. To the death.
I expected to be greeted as a hero. But the wretches imprisoned me and tried to tear my mind apart. I didn't think anyone would come for me. Erasing my thoughts and my will. Even I could not have endured for much longer. Agreed. I will pretend the interrogators finished their work and feign obedience. They will think me a thrall. Lead the way.
Enjoy the view.
This feels like it stretched all the way to the Sea of Swords in a clear day.
I last left Moonrise as a commander in the Absolute's army, obeying the voice of a god. I thought I had found a home and a purpose. Now I leave as an exile. But you risked your life to rescue me. For that, I am grateful.
The artifact connects with her, pulling your minds together and showing her all that you have seen. The prism, your dream visitor, the protection that keeps you from obeying the Absolute and becoming a Lithid. She knows it all in a moment. Her mind reels, but is no longer clouded. She accepts the truth. She has no choice.
There is much we must discuss. Do you have a safe place to camp nearby? Goodbye for now. I will see you soon.
Sorry if this is rude, but can vampires fall in love?
What a preposterous question. Vampires can do anything you can do, and a damn sight better.
If he saves us, I'll never hear the end of it.
Swim?
All right. There are a few limited exceptions.
Below. Down.
Nimble. Nickel. Ah! Don't mind us. I reckon we need... Your feet fly fast. Bless. We'll grab... You, however, are the Clint. We'll move...
This is it.
Boat's good to go. All that's left is to ship off. My plan for now is to hide out on the water. Unless you have a better idea. Now that is a plan I can get behind. From me and every Iron Hand gnome in the realm, thank you. You've done more than you could ever know.
Da-da-dum.
The mission has to come first. Feel my mistress's wrath.
Keeping low.
What now? Bye forever, pal.
No time for mercy.
Fuck yes.
What's that?
That's curious.
Was that a click I heard? There's something about these plaques. What's that? What was that? A house of healing, from the looks of it.
For all the good it's doing, like this.
Here to see the doctor? Are we poorly? Are we desperately poorly? Oh, not so well. But well enough to wait. Join the line, and you will be seen. Let me check. Let me check. What's the primary symptom? But there's no shame in an end. All things come to be lost. But if you wish to be examined, join the line. You will be seen. Poor creature. Oh, so sad, so sick. The doctor will see you. The doctor will soothe. Down to the theater. Be swift. Be saved.
Arabella's father.
The objective of the Scalpel Sisters is to soothe. For the Scalpel indeed is an extension of Shah. See how the patient reacts when I but stroke the right nerve. Hear its comfort, hear the very melody of mercy. Pray, sister, show us the extent of your beneficence. Stop. Stay your hand, for it slaps where it should stroke. We can hardly hear the patient's sighs of solace. Perhaps it is our unexpected audience that makes you quiver. Come, step forward. You are no sister, but that matters none. Every student is welcome.
Absence.
Absence. No other word captures the heart of Shah so very perfectly. It is the scalpel-led journey that leads from pain to peace.
Only a beast of a man toys with his victim. Entertaining, if not efficient.
See? What is the light of eyes but the cancer that causes one to witness the laceration of being? If light is the symptom, then darkness is the cure. For in light there is presence, but in darkness there is absence.
In light is presence, in darkness, absence.
But you, look how the succor of Shah eludes you. See how painfully present you remain. We do not wish to see you suffer so. Let us cure you.
You remember a Shiren maxim. Go forth and sow doubt, but do not compel it, for only the willing may know the lady's embrace.
Only the willing may know the lady's embrace. You know her teaching well. And yet these sisters must exercise their gifts, for the art of absence lies in its execution. How to proceed? I wonder. Yes, for are we not all in need of a cure? The scalpel does not discriminate. Let each and every one of you partake in its soothing journey. Absent sisters, acquaint yourselves. It is a proud moment when one sees one's teachings so lovingly taken to heart. You are to be commended for their graduation, rewarded with the promised cure. Come, I will acquaint you with the lady's dark-fingered embrace. Your diligence is exemplary. Very well. Your own scalpel you will be. Observe, then succeed me into the succor of Shah.
Couple turns should do it.
Signs of fallen Dark Justiciars. This can't be a coincidence. They must have originated from somewhere nearby.